My name is Eric Stutz. I currently reside in Long Island, New York. I am a full-time real estate investor as well as broker owner of my own real estate brokerage here on Long Island, Long-Term Realty Corp. And I've been in at least 12 of Ashcroft Capital's deals as a limited partner and passive investor. I've always liked multifamily. The first house that I ever bought was a two-family, so I'm on the smaller side in regards to multifamily. But I've always been interested in multifamily. I directly own some smaller multifamilies on my own, and I understand the financials of multifamily, and I've just always considered real estate and multifamily as one of the best investments over the long run. So I wanted to put some of my money to work passively, and when I met Joe and he told me what he was looking to do, again, I invested in their first deal, so it was, there was a little more risk involved, I'm sure, for all of us, because they hadn't been through a full life cycle of a deal. So, that was one of my concerns. But again, when he teamed up with, or partnered with Frank and did their first deal, which was Wood Glen Village in Houston, Texas, I jumped in. There was a really good preferred return. I like the fact that their distributions are monthly, and it just the fact that it's passive, there's really not much for me to do, but obviously I have to have faith in where I'm putting my money, and Joe, Frank, and the Ashcroft team just have a great system, and I like the fact that they follow their systems, and they pretty much execute on everything they say they're going to execute on. Investing with Ashcroft was my first, passive investment. I've always been accustomed to managing my own money and directly buying, owning, and managing my own properties. So my biggest objection was wiring money to another company to invest in one of their deals passively. And again, the fact that I was one of Ashcroft's first investors on one of their first deals, there was really no history. So I was, taking that leap of faith, and I kind of got a good feeling. I was very thankful to have met Joe in person, because I'm a little old school and I like to meet people in person. So, it was a huge thing to meet him in person prior to actually, wiring funds for their first deal. But, so that was one of my, objections in the beginning. But, since then I've been through, I want to say 8 or 9 full life cycle deals with Ashcroft. So everything is smooth sailing at this point. I've invested with a few different syndicators and or sponsors, and Ashcroft Capital is by far the best out of the ones that I've invested with. And I just love the way they run their business. I love the fact that they're relatively conservative. The returns are great. Just the communication. I mean, they're hitting it on all cylinders, and it's very noticeable to me, who's a full-time investor, real estate investor, and having worked with some other syndicators, I could honestly say that Ashcroft is my favorite out of them all. Every aspect from the subscription process, deal announcement, subscription process, the distributions, the monthly updates and communication. I'm just pretty much happy with every aspect of it. But I definitely like the high returns, and I like the fact that it's that it's passive. And yep. returns, excellent returns. I like the fact that Ashcroft is conservative in their underwriting. Communication, just the monthly updates and communication overall is wonderful. Yeah, it's just a great great company to invest with overall. The results have been great. Again, considering, just going back to the fact that I am an active investor and a passive investor, the returns that I've achieved with Ashcroft are just, they're beating pretty much everything else in my portfolio, whether it be stocks, bonds. Yeah, just the returns have been great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Every deal that they've come out with, they kind of list all the projections, and I want to say that for the majority of deals that I've been in, they've either met or exceeded the projections that they said. So my expectations have been pretty much met and or exceeded on every level. I was one of Ashcroft's first investors, I guess going back seven to 8 years, and I've been in many of their deals. I mean, there was a point where I was trying to invest in every one of their deals, but in regards to my own portfolio, I have to, be diversified. So yeah, I've been with Ashcroft since the beginning. I've watched them grow tremendously. I mean, it's funny because when I see the growth over the years, it's just amazing that Ashcroft is now turning into a larger institution. In the beginning, smaller company, first deal, second deal, third deal, and just to see them execute on their business strategy and to succeed and to come as far as they have, and the fact that I've been fortunate enough to join them for the ride, it was just something that I couldn't refuse to do. Everybody views these investments, differently. I kind of look at it as a laddered multifamily syndicate approach. And just one example is like, you could invest in CDs, let's say, right? And, they have an approach called a laddered approach. So you would invest in, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, et cetera, CD. And as the CDs start to mature, you would invest in another 1 year CD. So it's kind of like, so as you have investments maturing, you still have, other investments that will continue to mature. And with the multifamily, the fact that I'm in, I'm currently in, let's say, 10 deals with Ashcroft. Each deal kind of has a different time horizon. So as one deal is being sold, they're typically acquiring a new deal that's going to have a longer time horizon. So as I have one that's kind of ending and selling, I'll take those returns and reinvest them into a new deal. And then the fact that I have a bunch of, that I'm invested in a bunch of other deals with them, I feel like I have enough deals to where I'm covering, a decent time horizon. And as one deal is sold, I invest in a new deal, and so on and so forth. I can't say enough good things about Ashcroft. They've exceeded my expectations from day one. I've been with them literally from day one. I'm still with them, and just love the way they operate and communicate with their investors. And of course, the returns are phenomenal. I definitely recommend anybody that's looking to invest in multifamily or become a passive investor in multifamily investments that Ashcroft is definitely a top-notch company and one to keep on your radar. And I would recommend investing with Ashcroft.